All right, today we're going to be making some of my favorite beats to make, one of my favorite genres to make, which is R&B. Let's go. All right, so first thing we're going to do is bring this tempo down. I want to be somewhere between like high 80s to like mid 90s. We could probably do like 95. We might go a little bit slower. And I'm going to build out a chord progression for this first because it's going to be the most important part, honestly, about making these R&B beats is getting the chord progression correct, because you have to use certain chords in order to like get that R&B feel to it. So I'm going to start off with Omnisphere. I'm going to go into my Beautiful Souls Omnisphere bank. This one's perfect for like R&B and trap soul. And I'll probably just start off with the pad. So I'll just choose one. We can change it later. We need to choose a scale real quick. So I'm going to go over here, view, scale highlighting. I'm going to start off in a major scale, but let's go with E. So a couple of the notes in some of these chords are going to be outside of the scale. That's going to have to be a must when you're getting these R&B chords, but I will explain like why they are going out of the scale. Before this, since we are in a major scale, we're going to build out a 7th chord on the 1 of the scale, which is going to be E right here because it's the first note in the scale. Drag this out. We'll do like 1 bar. We can change this later. So this is the 1 of the scale because it's E, right? So E's the 1, and then F sharp is 2, G sharp is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then back to E. So we're going to build out on the 1. I'm going to skip every note in the scale. This first chord, because it is a major scale and we're using the 1 of the scale, meaning the E, and we're in E major, is going to be a major chord. So I skip this note right here, place 1, skip this note right here in the scale, place 2. Now we have an E major chord, and you can also look at it because we have 3 spaces here and then 2 spaces here. You could also do it by the semitone trick where you place this note here and then you go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we would place a note here, right? And then we go up 1, 2, 3. So it'd be 4, 3, and that's how you would get that. And if you wanted it to be minor, you would just flatten this, and now it becomes 2 spaces here, 3 spaces here. You've seen this in a million tutorials. And to count that out, you would have 1 here, and then you just get another note. Let's go like this. Let's go up 1, 2, 3. And then get another note. It's the opposite of the other way. And then you get the minor chord. And you could see that there's 2 spaces here and then 3. So let's make this a 7th. Let me bring this back up. It is easier if you look at the scale because you can see the notes and skip another one. So we can place here and make this a 7th. But you see a repeating pattern. We're adding the 7th to this chord. Now we have an E major 7th chord. But if you look, we skipped 3 spaces here, 2 spaces here, 3 spaces here. And then we could make this a 9th. We just skip 1 more note in the scale and go here. And again, you see it alternating. 3 spaces, 2 spaces, 3 spaces, 2 spaces. And now we have the 9th chord of that, but we are just going to go with the 7th. So this is going to be our first chord, an E major 7th chord. Now I want to find another chord to go to. For this one, I want to go to a minor chord. So I'm going to go from a major chord to a minor chord. So for example, some of the minor chords that would be inside of this major scale, we can go to like G sharp right here, skip a note, place, skip a note, place, skip a note, place. If I just move this over real quick so you can see it, now we're doing that skip 2, skip 3, skip 2, whereas the major was skip 3, skip 2, skip 3. So this one is going to be minor. So this is a G sharp minor 7th chord. So this would be the 1, 2, 3. This would be the 3 of the scale. This is the 1. And if we bring this up, let's go to C sharp, which is going to be the 6 of the scale. So if we count up, let me delete that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right here. This is also a minor chord that is inside of here. So let's go ahead and just choose one. We'll go with G sharp for this. But now what we need to do is build out a transition chord right here that is going to give us like that R&B feel. And for this, you need to do dominant 7th chords. I explained this in a couple tutorials before. The main thing that we need to do here is create tension and then resolve it to something. So for example, we're going to be going into this G sharp chord, but we want to build out a dominant 7th chord right here, which also will contain some notes that are outside of the scale, but it's going to give us that tension. And the easiest way to do that is to build a dominant 7th off the 5th of the chord that you're going to be playing next. We have G sharp minor 7th right here, right? This is the root, the 3rd, the 5th, and the 7th of the chord. If we take the 5th of the chord right here, which is a D sharp, we're going to build a D sharp dominant 7th chord right here. and this will create tension from this chord to this chord, but then resolve here. So let's go ahead and take this over here. I'm just holding shift and clicking, and to build out a dominant seventh, I'm gonna skip 3, 1, 2, 3, place, skip 1, 2, place, 1, 2, place. Now we have D sharp dominant seventh. And then from here, we'll just bring this down an octave, control down arrow. And you'll hear this is a very common chord progression in R&B. And then we can end it with a 2-5-1, which I'll explain after. And then we get the 2-5-1, do, do, and then back down, right? So from here to build out the 2-5-1, we just need to go from the 2 of the scale to the 5 of the scale with the root note, and then the 1 is already here, so it resolves back. So again, super common chord progression, but you can like arrange this and make it different and put other passing chords, but we'll just use the real basic form of this type of chord progression. So E again is the first note in our scale, so we'll count up to the second right here. That's going to be the 2. Let's shorten this. We'll build out the chord after 3, 4, and then 5. So it's going to be F sharp to B, and then we'll just build out triads for that. So I'm going to select all the root notes here, shift and control together, go like this. I'm going to bring them all down 1 octave here, and then I'm just going to build out a triad. So I'm going to skip every other note. So we got F sharp, we'll skip this note here, place, skip here, place. Then you'll see we're doing the 2 and then the 3. So this one's going to be minor. And then over here, we'll build out another chord. So we'll start at B, skip 1, place, skip 1, place. And now we'll have a 2-5 into the 1. But now we can take like this D sharp right here, select this and go up an octave here. So that's already sounding a little bit better. We can also place like another note right here on F sharp to complement this one. We could take this control down arrow, we can bring it down and start to get these chords and these notes to be closer together. And that's how you can get these chords to sound more R&B and more like as one instead of being so far apart. Maybe I could bring the G sharp there. Let's see what this sounds like. So you definitely want to study dominant 7th chords. You want to study 2-5-1s for R&B, and the more you learn and read about them, the more you're kind of going to understand how to create these chord progressions. I'm still learning R&B every day because it is not easy, honestly, when you're creating these types of chord progressions, especially to like branch out of this like kind of more basic formula to just get them even better and like further and have more transition chords and borrowed chords like that. There's just so much to learn from it, so you definitely want to keep studying. But I like how this sounds right now, so this is going to be like the core foundation of this. All right, so I left the chord progression pretty much the same except having this chord repeat, but I took the B right here, flattened it to an A sharp, and then I brought this G sharp that was right here up 1 octave here. Very simple adjustment, but I think it's going to sound really cool in the beat later on. Pluck 1 sounds perfect. Let's add some effects to it. Let's throw it over here, and let's get that reverb that I have and bring this over here. I don't know, let's just mess around. Let's create something. There we go. And shout out to Durkee, man. I seen him have his mixer channel on the left side, and that made a whole bunch more sense for tutorials. I don't know if that's why he does it, but that's for sure why I'm gonna start doing it. Because when I had it on the right side, every time I like go to the plugin list, I'd have to like zoom over there, or like my face camera would be in the way. Ooh. And you can get the Beautiful Souls Omnisphere preset bank on my site. There'll be a link to that in the description. And if you don't have that, I have Loveless for Analog Lab. Let's go down there. think I want to add in a string real quick. Maybe like here. With some processing maybe. Can you even hear it? Oh, with the delay. Let's bring that level down just a little bit. So inside of arcade, let's go over here, major, E major, and let's go to lines. Really good ones to use obviously would be hooked. Honey is really good for R&B. We'll probably go inside of there and see if we can find something actually. So let's drag this to here. This should be the one of it. Then bring this over here. Let's see. If you haven't tried arcade and you're interested in trying it, I do have an affiliate link in the description which will give you a 30-day free trial, so make sure to check that out. And then now we can export this as a whole loop. I'm also going to include this part without the percussion, and then we can go ahead and pitch this around and add drums and the bass to it. Yeah, 808.6 from Broken Hearts wins because it has this one. When I designed it, I added a little bit of a pluck bass, but then it has a sustain to it. So you'll hear it kind of has like that bump bump sound in the beginning. But it's mixed together. I really like how that one sounds. So let's go with that. I have an idea for the hi-hat. I'm gonna throw this on 4 steps right here. I want the hi-hat to be like duh, do, duh, 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 and then like a little gap. So let's see. Like that, done. Like here, maybe. I just like to get the ideas out right away. And then right here, let's try a slide. This is what a slide sounds like on the hi-hat. It's like that. Cool, so we'll do that. And you can throw those anywhere, honestly. You can go like right here. So you just get creative with it. Smooth, like some open hats. We could do that every other bar. Let's try this. Can also do that same thing where you take like a note like this, double click it, put it onto slide and bring it down like You can also add some cool effects. You can also slide up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And you could also take the hi-hats here and go like this, attack down, sustain up, release down. And now you can make these shorter. And I can mess with this. That actually sounds pretty cool. A little bit lower. Yeah, just get creative with it, man. That's all it is. This sounds really good though. I like this. I'm gonna add in a couple percussions. This is one of my favorite ones right here. All you gotta do is throw this on stretch. Something like that. All right, now let's get a kick in here. I'm gonna go get a kick from Resupply. This kick 15 is one of my favorite kicks right here. I have a soft clipper on the master as always, and I'm gonna really just push this kick into here, and let's find out a pattern that sounds good for this. Maybe 2 in the beginning, boom, boom. And then like, wait, I kind of want it to be like a unique pattern. That's kind of predictable. Something like that. I don't want that one, but that always sounds great. I like that. Do. But the double always sounds really good too. This one right here. Let me turn this up. Always perfect. I like that too though. Fire. Without the percussion over here. I'm thinking I might just start making melodies and then putting it in the description for you to download, and then it's just like a 50-50 split. I think that might be cool for like tutorials. Let me know if I should do that in the comments down below. I might already have it done for this video, so you might be able to download the melody. I'm not sure. I'm just saying it right now just in case I want to use it for later. But yeah, this is how I make like R&B beats like this. Appreciate you watching. As always, if you want any of my kits or preset banks used in today's video, there'll be a link to those in the description. Make sure to join the Discord, link to that in the description as well. Let's hear the full beat.